Yo, what's going on, YouTube family? In this video, I want to talk about how you could know that UX design is the right career path for you. And what inspired me to talk about this topic are all the amazing interview candidates who were applying for an internship role at my job recently. They told me their stories, and it made me reflect on my UX career beginnings. Because I really didn't know if UX was for me. I was just trying to figure it out through other people, asking them their stories, and I was like, man, a ton of people out there who are trying to get into UX, they might be asking themselves the same question, like, how do I know that UX design is the right career path for me? Especially if you're coming out of college or transitioning from a different field. Like it's a big question to answer. So most of the time when I talk to aspiring UX people, what they tell me is that they know that they're creative and they want to pursue a career where they can do that every day, or they are in some kind of creative hobby like music or art, and for some reason they feel like reality hit them and they thought to themselves, hey, I'm not going to make it as a musician, I'm not going to make it as an artist, it's not going to pay me financially what I want to get paid, so UX design is plan B. If you reach out to UX designers and ask them their stories, it's always going to be interesting, right? Like in the beginning, when I started out, I reached out to tons of UX designers, and there was one guy who was into, he before he was a UX designer, he just used to do woodworking, and he was a carpenter, and he found that carpentry it just like was the connection for him to UX design, dealing with clients, building things, and as a designer, you're always building things, right? I see that, intuitively, when I started out, I thought that design was centered in faith. It starts off as an idea, a seed, right? So there's a seed of an idea, and you don't know, and the people around you don't know if this product is going to work, if people are going to like it. There's this hesitant energy in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you're making prototypes, you're actually building things, and you're showing it to customers, or you're showing it to the potential people who might use this product, and there's this light bulb that it goes off in your mind, and you're like, oh damn, like they're gonna love it, right? So I love that whole cycle and energy around UX design. I looked at my hobbies, I looked at my faith, and I saw that all of those things that I loved were centered in UX design. And so for you, if you're somebody that's in a different career path, like teaching, right? I think teaching is a great path into UX because there's a certain way that people learn when you present ideas, right? If you're teaching kids, or you're teaching college, or you're teaching high school kids, there's a certain way that you present ideas in your classroom that connect to the way that those kids think, right? And when you're presenting ideas to adults, it's almost the same concept, and you can use the gifts that you have as a teacher to present your ideas that you propose as a UX designer. Like if you're a car salesman and there's a certain way that you build rapport with folks, then you can apply that to UX design and working with different stakeholders as well, right? If you're a gardener, like I'm really into plants now, I see that it takes a little bit of faith to see that your cuttings, right? Like most of the times I propagate my plants and they don't always live, they don't always make it through, but it takes a little bit of faith to see that those roots are going to sprout, and then when you plant this in the ground, it's going to grow and take off, right? Like that's just like a business or a product that you build. You have to have the faith that this thing is going to work, because in the beginning stages there's some hesitant energy, like I said, and then when you plant the seed and it grows, it's like, oh damn, it's working. So I see that all these different things that I'm into, they relate to UX design in some capacity. So if you can Find the things that you love in your life. Parenting, being a husband, being a wife, being a chef. There's certain patterns that you use if you're designing a thank you page. There's certain patterns that you use if there are error states that you're designing for. There's patterns that people are familiar with. And when you are getting into recipes, you know, there's patterns of the kinds of ingredients that you use for certain cultural recipes, right? Asian food, Latin food. In Latin food, they use a lot of cumin. So I'm just saying, these are just examples of helping you understand, like, how do you learn that UX design is something that you love? Well, for me, this might work for you as well. Look at your life, look at the things that you love, and recognize the patterns within yourself. Recognize the way that you think, recognize the things that you're into naturally, right? And that's how you can see if UX is the right role for yourself. And so, yeah, guys, I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it did change your mind in any way, you already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for the kind of content that you want to see, or you want me to talk on more kinds of topics around this specifically, drop a comment in the comments below, or suggest something that you want to see me talk about. Alright guys, I hope that you're doing well. Peace and love. See you guys in the next video.